Joining me on the news to discuss this is the Executive Director, International Climate Change Development Initiative, Olumide Idowu. Mr. Idowu, it's nice to join us. It's nice to have you join us on the news to talk about this.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
So let's start this way. Now, this rain and flood patterns played ugly in African countries like South Africa, Zimbabwe, Kenya, Ethiopia, Somalia, and the likes last year. Now, Nigeria seems to be gradually picking up the patterns again with the volume of rains this year. Should we be worried about a more pronounced climate change shockers this year?
Yeah, definitely. We need to be very worried. And, as we know that climate change is a global issue that can have very impact on different regions. And we have been seeing it across the world, even across Africa. So the increased rainfall, the flood pattern experienced in some African countries last year actually also showed the current volume of rain Nigeria could be, attributed to as a climate change. So while it is important to monitor this pattern, it is very important and it's very difficult to predict that certainly the extent of climate change shockers for this year. So, however, it is, advisable to stay informed about climate change and its potential effects, and also to take appropriate measure to mitigate and even adapt to any changes that may occur. And this starts from you and I to be making sure that we are taking care of our environment to prepare ourselves for the rainy days. Thank you.
Yes, I'm actually glad you talked about putting in place mitigating plans, rather, to actually mitigate the impact when we see floods and rain downpours like this. Now, you see how heavy rains have actually resulted in severe flooding in parts of Lagos. For a metropolitan city like that, wouldn't you have expected some sort of drainage systems or maybe through channels to dissipate rising surges of water, of course, to have that as top-notch in terms of what the government should have done, and of course have that in other states too in Nigeria?
Yes, it is indeed unfortunate that heavy rains have caused severe flooding, across the part of Lagos State, and nobody is safe again. So as a metropolitan city, one would expect that the drainage system and through channel to be, efficient in as much as possible. We need to now start looking at the rising surge of water, the way it's coming. So, however, let us also look at it. It is also very important to note that managing flood in a different way with this kind of population city like Lagos can be a complex challenge. And factors such as the rapid, urbanization, looking at inadequate infrastructure, and even improper waste management, as Dr. Desmond said in the statement over the last time, can also contribute to the inefficiency of drainage system in Lagos. So it requires continuing investment. It requires planning and even maintenance or to ensure that the drainage system can effectively handle heavy rainfall and also prevent flooding for the coming days. And we need to start looking at it from now so that we can prepare ahead and get informed and well prepared for the future of rain that is coming in the coming days.
I'm more concerned about the involvement or the roles that citizens play, because you discover that people are so prone to, dumping refuse in waterways and in drainages, and not properly disposing their leftovers or their bottles and consumables and stuff that are being used. So what approach would you necessarily say would be needed in order to bring about probably a cultural reorientation in these regards?
Yeah, to bring about cultural, orientation and even addressing the issue of citizens contributing to flooding is very, very important. Where people are still dumping of their